Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of We Listen and We Judge. Today, we're talking about friendship, and I am going to discuss how I feel about the different stages, my current state of friendships, and how I can be better. To get into this, we've discussed that lived in, several states before. I'm now back in Georgia, but still not close to a lot of my friends. For me, as an adult, it's very hard to build new friendships. I don't go out too much, so that's one thing against me. And then two, I just have a hard time meeting people as a more introverted person, trying to put myself out there, trying to build new relationships. And I just know when I was in school, it was so much easier. I played sports. I was more of a smart kid, I guess. I always got good grades, so people would always ask for help. Well, then it was very easy. You just play together, talk about life, go to class, realize who you want to sit with at lunch. And now, as an adult, most of the time you see people is at work. With my career, nobody's trying to be super good friends with HR. And honestly, it's best you're not good friends with people because they take that as I can get away with different things. I don't have to follow the rules. So it's very good to kind of stick to yourself. It doesn't mean I isolate myself and not talk to anybody. I just have to be careful about blurring the lines and always walking in professionalism. So I don't really hang out with my coworkers after work. Don't want to see crazy things either. Not that they would, but just don't want to put myself in that predicament. So I'm in the stage of life where I'm trying to find a way to build new friendships. I've done different things when I was living in Jacksonville. I joined some organizations, didn't really work out. Go to the gym. I finally did meet a friend going to the gym, so that was cool. And I did go to a lot of events by myself because I'm one of those people that it's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. I don't mind being solo as long as I'm safe. So that is my perspective as of now. And I am working to build new friendships. So that's what we're discussing. How about you?
I'm in a friendship maintenance phase of my life, maintaining the friends that I have.
Okay.
We can go for months without seeing or talking to one another and then pick up like we've talked every day. I grew up in a household with four girls. I'm the second of four daughters. So building friendships came a little bit more naturally because feel like my sisters were my first friends.
Right.
And having three sisters, and we're unique personalities, but our unique personalities are so similar. I know Brandy sometimes accused me of being a nitpicky person, but I think we get it from my mama. Like she knows how she wants things, and we've all for a long time known how we want things, and any little thing that's outside of the way we want things, we kind of, want it to be how we want it to be. So we as a group, the four of us, when we're together, we take up a lot of space, but we have a good time with one another. I think we learn from being friends with each other how we wanted our friendships to go outside of our family.
Hmm.
So I would say I'm probably not as good a friend as Brandy. I've watched her over the years be a very good friend to people. And I, on the other hand, I struggle with everyday things, every weekend things, but now every now and then,
Hmm.
I'm really good with the every now and then. I'm the one that have to make a conscious effort to reach out, call, and say, "Oh, let me check on so and so. Let me make sure so and so is okay." Because if I don't hear from you, I always assume that you're okay. So I have a little work to do on that.
For me, like I had to learn over time that you can have different friends in different pockets. One friend doesn't have to be everything for you. And that's what I'm trying to grow into as well and have these great friendships. I have to be a great friend. So mine was more of a learning curve. I didn't have sisters. I don't have siblings, but my brother. And we're cool, but we wouldn't be friends because we're just too different. And he's a guy, I'm a girl. We just have different perspective on how life should go. So it's not like we just became like friends per se. We're family. So it's different. Like, regardless of if he gets on my nerves, I get on his nerves, we're gonna always be there because we're friends. I mean, we're family. But if we were friends, it would be different because for me, if I feel like someone is no longer serving me in life and I can't really bring any value to them, I'm okay with cutting the friendship off. I've done friendship breakups and I realized that if we did break up, that should be the end of it. And it's weird even saying friendship breakups because it's like, that's a friend. Why are you making it romantic? But it's not like that. It's just, hey, this is the end of the road. We can no longer give anything to this relationship that we have. And we're just two different people going into two different paths. I've also rebuilt friendships after, he said, hey, we ain't gonna be cool anymore. And right now I'm realizing like I need to take that person for who they are. They take me as I am, and we just navigate who we are now. So I'm kind of in the phase of growing my friendships, trying to get new ones, and then also rebuilding old ones that kind of went left. I do want to say that anybody that has been in my life as a friend, personally be there if they're really on their last, they really need help. I can say that I will be there for most people. And we talked about this a little bit earlier about having your forever friends. You have those childhood friends that you grew up with that you probably haven't seen in years, but if they ever said anything to you, then yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss you. Remember what we did? This and that. Remember Miss Jill's class when she took us to her house? Remember all the good memories when we were a child? Still talk to a good bit of them. Well, I still talk to a couple of them like every now and then, but they just have different phases of life too. And I think that's something to think about too, because I'm a single woman. Most of my friends are single women. I have one that's married, but most of us, we value friendship because we know like we could date all we want to, but if it ever goes left, I still have my homegirls. I have my friendships. I'm still gonna be there. I'm trying to grow myself to realize that once I get into those married stages in life, and once I get in that married stage in life, it will be different. We will show up different for each other. We probably won't talk as much, especially if they decide to have children. I know I can't say the same thing for my friends, so I'm trying to grow my mindset to know that, hey, this can change at any point. I always hear also a lot of married women say they can't be friends with their single girlfriends. And I just wanted to know, you know, why some of them feel that way. I can see both sides. I can say like sometimes the single friend can be a little too needy when they don't have a relationship outside of the friendships. But I know personally that I think I will be the same way. I will still make time for my platonic friendships and pour into them. And then I will also be able to pour into my romantic relationship.
Well, I do think thinking about the difference between friends and associates as well. Like you could associate with, you show up for them even when they need something. But when you're talking about genuine friendships, people who you talk to when or need when there's nothing going on, like no trauma, no celebration, but it's genuinely somebody who you can just sit with for hours and not even talk and just be around and be okay. The older I get, so many friendships around what our kids was doing when you all were younger. We established a lot of friendships based on what you and Daniel had going on. It was cheerleading for you, basketball for him, and basketball for you, basketball for both of y'all. Whatever sports you guys were in or activities you all were in, we would make friends and we would do things together and you all were all involved. Those friendships we have actually held on to and still reach out to each other from time to time. We don't talk every day, in fact, but when we do, it's like never miss a beat. We just pick up like we've seen each other every day and we all seem to be okay with that. I mean, they would have to weigh in, but it showed today to just see more. Where am I as a friend? I know I am the type of person, whether I like you or not, if you ask something of me and I can help you and it's for the benefit of not only just you, but maybe somebody's child or a group of children or a family, I'm gonna do what I can. But if you don't ask anything from me, I go missing on everybody. pretty much.
I think it's different for me. I just don't want someone to always reach out when they need something. I need you to pour into me the same way I pour into you. So that's been a lot of the breakdown with my friendships.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been really one-sided sometimes and lopsided. And I get in my head about it. And I've started to work through it. Like I said, find the pockets of each friends, find their comparative advantage so that I don't feel like I have to depend on this one person for everything. And that's kind of how I'm growing into it. I also like kind of judge myself on how am I showing up for this person. I can't expect this person to drop everything and if I haven't done that for them either.
When you say pour into you, though,
Hmm.
describe that for me
Yeah.
as a person who might struggle with friendship. Like
Like,
if I was your friend,
uh-huh.
what would I need to do? How would I pour into you?
For me personally, I need someone like we can just chat and talk and see how everything's going. I like people to show up. I kind of realize like doing things together is more of a love language for me. Like we can chat every now and then, but I do get a little bit annoyed if people only reach out through social media or that's the only way we talk. I'm kind of not the person that if you are my friend, I don't want to talk to you on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter all the time. I want to have conversations. I wanna text. I wanna do stuff together. That's what I think a friendship is for me. And I guess that's where I'm learning that that's what I need. And that's kind of how I want to express that. But then I realized like every friend doesn't have to be like that. You have that one friend that you go and do things together with. And then you have those other friends that you just, check in on each other. We'll see you when we'll see you, but it doesn't have to be each other. I think I did put a lot of pressure on my friends. I kind of go back and see where I was in the wrong for putting high expectations on people and not even expressing the expectations that I have. But it's just because I have these expectations for myself and how I want to show up. So I'm just assuming like, well, if I'm doing this, you got to do it too. But I'm realizing like that wasn't fair to them. That's not who they are as a person. So as I grow, I realize like my friendships have to grow and change in a new direction.
And I'm trying to think kind of introspectively as I hear you talk. Like I find myself being the type of person that you don't want as a friend. When I listen to you, like if I wasn't your mom, I wouldn't be a good friend to you
Hmm.
because I do show up when I'm asked to show up, and I'm gonna go out of my. I am the person that, yeah, call me when you need me.
Hmm.
If you don't need nothing, we good.
Right.
Like, so I don't know, and it could come from a place of just how I grew up. We were so independent about everything. But even with my sisters, I mean, we talk quite often, but if we didn't, like we could pick up like it was yesterday as
Right.
well. Like, and we all kind of move the same way. We do things with each other, we do things with our friends. But if we didn't, we're good still.
I'm kind of learning to do that too. I'm learning to that we don't have to talk every single day, every single week, but I don't want it to be too long
Too
either.
long. Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm trying to find a middle. There is a gray area and I need to get there. Another thing that I've seen on social media is people talking about low maintenance friendships and high maintenance friendships. And it took me being a bad friend to somebody, not being able to be what they want me to realize like I have to give people more grace. I would say I prefer high maintenance friendships, but I'm learning like it's okay to also have low maintenance friendships too. I think what you're saying is you're more of a low maintenance friend. It doesn't have to be in all be all. And I also see that for a lot of people that are married or coupled up because you have a spouse that is technically also your friend. You can do life together.
Right.
But with people who don't have that, we kind of tend to trend towards the high maintenance.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, for me, I have been in a serious relationship where we live together, and I think regardless, I still prefer the more high maintenance. But like I said, it took me failing on those expectations that I needed for somebody else to realize, like, hey, give people more grace. If they're not showing up how you want them to, it's okay to have that conversation and let them know, like, hey, this is what I need from you. This is what I'm willing to give to. We need to meet in the middle ground.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget my friend telling me, like, romantic relationships and friendships should be the same. You should treat your friends like you would treat your boyfriend. And I disagreed. I didn't agree with him on that perspective because I felt like your romantic relationship is going to be different. Now, as women, we can get into that, my man, my man, my man, and we forget about our, hang out with them. And we only could show up when he broke our heart. I know personally, I'm more hard on the man than my friends because I feel like if I'm giving my all to you in a romantic space, then you have less room for error. And that's just realistic. Like you can make mistakes, but don't make purposely bad decisions because that's what you want to do and feel like the relationship is going to be the same. So that's one reason I don't agree because I'm always going to be harder on my relationship than my friends. And then the next thing is like when you're with the person in a relationship, you're living together, you're building a life together, you're not necessarily doing that with your friends. You can do life together, but you're not necessarily building up a home, raise our kids, what church we're going to go to, what food we're going to eat every night. That's just a different type of intimacy that platonic relationships can never mimic unless you are trying to turn it into romance. So that's something I really did a deep dive with. And I'm like, well, am I wrong for trying to ask too much of my friends? And I do think I was. And now I have repurposed and revised how I look at friendships. And it is a little bit more low maintenance now. But at the same time, I do have expectations.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you're a good friend.
Hmm.
I've watched you be a good friend to several people over the years, and I've often admired how giving and thoughtful you are. And I've often said to myself, "Oh gosh, I wish I was thoughtful like that," because I'll forget lots of things. Birthday, I'll forget birthday. Space in my brain, I can just hold those things. So I have to make a conscious effort to remember they'll be okay, and it's okay. And if it's not okay, I would love to hear from them. But I'm
Yeah.
not.
Feedback.
I feel like it's okay because we always pick up like it's no animosity, no problem. And we're not the type of friends that's going to talk out things. We're just going to move on. I don't know if I don't even think it takes time to heal. I think it's just, we all in our brain think, okay, it's not that serious. That person hadn't done anything.
You don't have malicious intent.
Right. There's no malicious intent. So there's nothing really to
Well,
heal from.
I could say like I want to feel like that, but I've just been in a situation too many times where somebody presented themselves as my friend and they really were my biggest hater. I'm not saying like I'm just so much that people just hate on me. Don't get me wrong, I have my flaws. Very shady person, working on that. Can't be mean, working on that. And when she says I'm a great friend, I'm like, well, I can be a great friend, but there's times where I can't be a great friend too. So that's where I'm gonna put it. But I also know like there's been people that's done things to me that's just you would do that to an enemy. So I know that I have to be very careful about what I allow in my life. And I do think it's worth talking out. That's where we will differ. I'm saying that because I know there were times where I wish I would have spoke up instead of just letting it lie and that we could have had a conversation and we could have moved forward. That's the part where I say, well, you can mimic it a little bit with romantic relationships because everybody deserves to know what they can work on. I feel like there's always room for improvement. And I've been in those spaces where I've tried to help people like, hey, and they feel as if I'm coming at them sideways. So I know that I appreciate when my friends tell me that because I know it takes a lot as a friend to say, hey, that was messed up. I'm starting to realize more and more when people are willing to tell you what you're doing wrong. Those are people you should have around, honestly. I don't want anybody that's just allowing me to show up in a way that it's not presenting myself in the best light either. And you'll have those people that will purposely try to put you in those situations where you look negative and where you look crazy. That's not a friend. That's basically an enemy. So I'm going through those changes and really changing my perspective of how I want my friendships to be. So I'm taking what no longer serves me and just realizing like, okay, this is not what I wanted. They didn't do this. Bad friend. They did this. Great friend. And I found myself comparing my friends to that is where I really messed up. Because this person does this does not mean they're the better friend. This is just what they're stronger at amongst the friendship. It's something we talk about place of employment comparative advantage. And that's kind of how I'm trying to see everybody in my life now. What is their comparative advantage? How can they bring value to you? How can you bring value to them? And it sounds so transactional, but that's really what it's all about. We're not in people's lives to not bring anything to the table at all. We're in their lives to bring something, to bring happiness, maybe, to bring food when you're down, to bring advice when you need it. So you always got to keep in mind, what am I bringing to this person? You don't want to bring negativity. You don't want to bring problems, but that is just the deep dive I've done when it comes to friendship and trying to improve on it.
Yeah. I really wish I had a lot of perspective on this because I really need to be judged
Yeah.
in this time. I feel hit in several ways because you yeah, you'll have to help me with this. Without in the absence of people that I call my friend telling me where I can improve, I really don't know where I am with friendship. I don't want to say I have close friends when it comes to making friendships or maintaining friendships. I don't want to say I could take it or leave it, but I can say I don't feel empty. I don't feel like I need pouring into. If I needed advice, it's just another talk. So I'm so family oriented that literally when I talk to my friends, it's more of a good time, a celebration, or there's been a tragedy and we're there to comfort each other.
Right.
But as far as the day to day and how what type of pouring into that I may need, I really don't go to my friends for that.
Yeah.
That they're there and they understand. So it would make sense to call somebody who will shift to just like my other friends. It'll be a good time. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we all get depleted, but I think that might be what you mean about having a spouse. And that might be just me having 3 sisters and my sisters that become my friends. I'm not sure. I want to be a better friend if I'm not a good friend. I know I'll do anything for my friends if they ask me to help them with things. I'm right there. And I'm so opposite of you. Call me when you need me, but we good. And I don't feel bad if they call me only when they need something. I don't feel any type of way after.
I think it's different for everybody. Everybody has the things that they value the most. I value family a lot too, but I also value friendships because some friendships have changed to family. Then you have build those friendships, and when those friendships turn into something like that, then you value friendships a little bit more because you
Think
realize
so.
what it can do for you. I think.
Are you thinking that I don't value my friends or
No, I'm not saying
friendships?
you don't value your friends or you don't value your friendships, but when it comes to like needing somebody, you don't need the friend, and that's different. I've been in situations where my friends have gotten me through something, and they know a lot more about what's going on than other people or family sometimes because those friendships have been like family. So. And sometimes people don't have good family too. That's also why they build friendships. So I've met those people that don't have a strong foundation with their family. They don't have a good mom. They don't have a good dad. Their siblings are always fighting. So they have friends that show up like that. So that's why I know like it just depends on who you have in your corner
Yeah.
and what you call them. And I definitely don't think it's like you don't value your friendships, but it's just like for that aspect of life when it comes to meeting people.
Yeah, I do
It's
value my friends. I'm just
yeah,
not a needy person.
yeah.
Like I've never been real needy about much.
Hmm.
I don't know if it comes from a place of being independent.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know necessarily if the word is needy either. It's just like everybody has somebody that they can talk about. Like you're saying, you have people you can talk to, and it's usually your sisters. Well, everybody doesn't have sisters. You have
Yeah.
people that, you have a husband. Everybody doesn't have a husband. So they have the friendships that they use to be
And I love my friendships for what they are. Like a celebration because there's something that a milestone has been reached in their family. Very close friends doing things together. Brunch on Saturdays, and it's just a good time. We love to
there's
talk and laugh and
there's no
enjoy
one
each other's
way
company.
to do friendship.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different way. It's just like there's no one way to live life. Everybody has a different way to do it. So those friendships are not going to look the same. So I don't necessarily think you can put yourself as a bad friend as less your friends feel like you're a bad friend. If
And
you
I
feel
don't
like you
really
could
know
do
how they feel.
yeah, if
I
you
have
feel
some
like you could do
lifelong
more, then you can do more,
yeah.
but that's but not necessarily
I have some lifelong friends. If they reach out to me, they know that I'm gonna be there for them.
right. Everybody has forever friends.
Yeah, those are my forever friends that you made when you were all growing up. I feel like anytime they reach out and there's something that we all can get together and do, it's always a good time.
Yeah.
I enjoy their company, but it's not often, and I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
And I think they are as well.
Right.
And I think we'll always be friends.
And you can tell when somebody's going through something and they don't necessarily need to have conversations. They just need to work through it. You also can tell when they really need you to show up and just catch a flight and let's do something fun and girl, let's go out. So that's how you have to maintain your friendships. You have to be what they need and you have to get what you need. And that's all I can say about whether you're a good friend or not.
Well, this was a topic that you were interested in. Not that I'm disinterested. I just don't have as much to say about friendships. And I don't want to come across to the people I love and my friends as if I'm a take it or leave it person. But I think they all know I'm a take it or leave it person. But it's not because I don't love them. And
Right.
it's not because they don't get whatever they need.
Mhm.
And it's not because I'm needy. I don't know what it is. I really don't. And maybe this is the question I have for today. Like, how is it that, how do I tone that down if I am taking up a whole lot of space?
Mhm. I don't know. It's just it would depends on who feels that way. It is. I think the people that are in your life are okay with who you are. And if they're worrying or if things was bothering them, I think it would show itself because you've been cool with these people for a long time, like over multiple decades. So I don't think anything to really question unless things get weird or the relationships are not the same. But if y'all maintain the same type of relationship for over 20 plus years, then there's probably nothing to really fix unless somebody has some. I mean, I feel like suppressing issues for 20 years is a little wow. I can't foresee somebody doing that, but who knows? But maybe they'll come to the forefront today
I think
after
y'all are in the
episode
generation.
drops.
Yeah, but I think y'all are in the generation where you are more expressive
Uh-huh.
and you call things out more regularly. I don't know that my generation is that expressive. I think we might be mad about something and we find a way to just let it go. The person may never know you even upset.
I
And
would
if
say
if
from
somebody has been upset with me, like they've not expressed it, and
mhm.
I would like to know because I can't fix it if I don't know about it.
I don't know because I feel like based on social media, that your generation definitely will say a lot of. I sometimes I feel like they don't realize when it's bad. I see those videos of women who are like in really long relationships, and they'll be like, "Oh, my husband gave me dog food for today," instead of regular lunch, and it'll be somebody around your age, and everybody's telling them like, "Hey, that's the problem, like, that's abuse." So maybe it's more so that they just don't know, but I don't know. I think people do express when things are wrong when they get to a breaking point. And it might not be anything so serious that you've gotten to your breaking point. But if you feel like somebody is definitely doing something wrong to you, you're going to say something like, I've had times where I feel like people aren't showing up for me or they'll just dismiss what I'm saying. And that's probably not worth having a conversation. But like, I think for the most part, my friendships have gone left more so when someone's lying to me or they did something like very messed up. And there's a situation I'd rather not speak on, but it's definitely like a great example because that's not just something you let go. It's like, hey, you did something crazy and you're supposed to be my friend, but you're going behind my back doing. So that's a little different. Like I would say I don't speak up on every single issue either. I really don't. But sometimes I do realize like maybe things will be better if we do express. That's the only thing I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, the next segment and our last segment for today will be listening to. and we'll talk about what we're listening to, what we're watching, what we're reading. And with to follow the theme of friendship, I've actually binge watching Sex in the City, which kind of made me think about friendships. Will say this show is very chaotic. I've heard about it a lot on social media growing up. People talked about it. And I do appreciate the dynamic of the friendships and how all of the women are different, but they also have a lot of similarities too. I think some of the situations I realized like I was a little too woke for them. Like it was a lot of sexual misconduct where somebody secretly filming a woman, multiple women, and I'm just like, he should go to jail. So one of the husbands exposed Carrie Bradshaw, and I was like, yeah, that's sexual harassment. Like a lot of the stuff made me realize, okay, the 90s was a wild time where they were just doing any and everything. But I like how they show a lot of the flaws. None of the women are perfect. They make a lot of mistakes, but they still show up for each other. So I don't necessarily think that they're bad friends. They are good friends to each other in my mind. I think the best thing about the show, it just shows you the love that you really could get from your friendships. And that's what I appreciate too. I realized like there were single women in New York trying to make careers for themselves, going through life, but they made sure to show up for each other. And they called each other out too. When somebody was doing something wrong, they definitely called each other out. They got into their arguments, but then they got back cool too. They never let their issues break them up. So that's the things I appreciated about the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to get back into it. I haven't watched the new season yet, but Reasonable Doubt
Uh-huh.
is one of my shows. I
Yeah.
love Reasonable Doubt. Ready to see what Jackson the crew has going on, and in
Yeah.
the same theme of friendship, she and her friends are very close, and
Uh,
they go through a lot together.
Yeah, they're
And they do show up for
each
one
other.
another. Yeah, a whole bunch of times. They show up for one another to the point where they're covering up
Yeah.
crimes.
Yeah.
but
Losing your husband for your cousin.
it's a very good show.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Reasonable Doubt, I suggest you check out season 1 and 2 on Hulu.
Right.
Season 3 has started already. I'm a little bit behind because I hadn't had time to be in my she cave on my beanbag watching Hulu.
Yeah.
So I plan to get started in season 3
Yeah.
next weekend. So
I
I'll
think
update you.
I think season 3 will be the best.
Yeah, Reasonable
I
Doubt is
love
definitely the show. I hadn't started watching it either, but I've seen the first season of Beauty and Black. And I
Oh
heard
yeah.
the second season is bad. I hadn't had time to watch that as well, and I don't think anybody is a good friend to anybody on this show, but
No. They're
it's chaotic.
friends set each other up.
Yeah,
Even with that, now they mean well. I think Kimmy, Angel, and Rain mean
Mean well.
well, institutionalized to the ghetto and the hood that they can't really see anything outside of it. So, well, Kimmy can. I see Kimmy is definitely going to be, playing chess while they thought she would only know checkers. So I do like that.
yeah. Well, Kimmy doesn't want to be called Kimmy anymore. It's Mrs. what?
Mrs. Bellary.
Mrs. Bellary. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Mrs. Bellary. You.
Yeah. She's playing her role really well. This season,
Yeah.
I was mad at her in her first season. The second season, I was like, okay. Well, I was mad at her the first half of season 1. But in the second half of season 1, I was like, okay, she getting into it, giving a little serial killer vibes, but she was doing her thing and getting her sister back. In season 2, I was like, okay, she really turned it around.
So with listening to, I would suggest Reasonable Doubt and Beauty and Black.
Right. Also, a book that I recently read is I didn't do the audio book again this time. I actually just read it from cover to cover, but I could hear them talking once I read it. That's the one thing about reading I really love. Like it really comes to life for me. The book is called Before I Let Go by Kenny Ryan, and it's a Skyland series that she had. That was a great romance novel. The couple were divorced, still on the restaurant together. The wife went through some things, like as far as a miscarriage. The husband was like strong. He didn't really let it get to him, but she crumbled and fell and she could not get back. So that ended up ultimately making them divorce. And eventually they find their ways. I feel like it's a beautiful story, and I hope to get more into the series. But one thing I loved about it is it highlighted her friendships with Hendrix and Soledad, and it showed the dynamic that they have. Like, they were really a rock for her. They helped her get back to where she wanted to go, and anything she needed, anything they needed, they really showed up from that. So it's a beautiful romance novel, but it's also beautiful for platonic love too.
Do those types of experiences kind of shape your idea on what friendship should be?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, I would like a friend where we live in close proximity to each other and we could do more together. Her kids were friends too, so it's beautiful in my, because I just feel like you can't put your all into one. You should have different relationships that build you up. And then as far as songs go, I've been just listening to Erica Banks' song. It's called Fine Shit. Sorry. Yeah.
Bleak.
Bleak. Like, but it's a really good song. I'm like, okay, Erica, you finally got a hit, because I've never really listened to her before. It was just, but this song, I like it. It's really good.
Okay. I'm not listening to anything right now.
Okay.
I'm still playing a Mississippi Mass Choir till I get that tenor part down pat.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the next time I'll have.
Well, I'm also listening to Maxwell. Maxwell, this is for you. You really broke my heart. We bought tickets to your concert in Orlando and you canceled. If you see this, like, please, like, I've loved you for a while now. And no weird.
I was gonna be a
There's
good
social
friend and go to that
Yeah,
concert with you.
Mom was going with me
But
too.
Maxwell, I'm good.
No, I mean, I need something like, so if I ever get to the point where I'm getting married, please sing at my wedding. I'm saying it now, because that really hurt my feelings. Like, I've been wanting to see Maxwell for a very long time. Finally got a chance to do it, and he canceled. I was hurt. I shed one single tear. I didn't cry that much, but I was sad. So,
Well, for my lifelong friends and my friends that we grew up together as married couples and we raised children together, reach out. How is our friendship? I think it's good, but
judge
it's
us.
my opinion. Judge me. I judge myself. I feel like I'm not that good a friend. I don't reach out like I should, but I thought we were all good with that. But maybe we're not. I mean,
yeah. I know, like, sometimes I can silently disengage from my friends when they piss me off about something.
Really?
I don't say something. So I have to give myself, out of 10, a 7.
I don't know. I don't disengage because I'm pissed off. I just disengage because I disengage.
Yeah.
For no reason. There's not a real reason. So other than I feel like I could do better, reaching out, making sure everybody's okay. I just always feel like I'd hear from you if you're not okay.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not really what friendship is about, waiting on somebody to have an issue and reach out.
Just wait on my boss to tell me if I'm doing a good job or not. I will ask if I haven't heard anything. So I try to keep that perspective for not just work, but life. So
yeah, and I'm not gonna ask my boss if I'm doing good.
Yeah, so that's where we differ.
I'm never gonna do it.
I always ask, how do you think I'm doing? How do you think I'm progressing? Feedback is a gift, is what I learned. And I
I'm
really
all right with
appreciate
feedback,
that.
but I'm not gonna ask for it. I mean, I think everybody should get feedback, but I'm not personally gonna ask for it.
Gotcha.
If there's something you want to tell me, I can take it.
Okay.
I got tough skin. I'm good with something that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
But if you don't tell me it needs to be fixed,
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna keep rocking right on.
Well, guys, let us know in the comments how you feel about friendships. How would you rate your friendships? And any advice you might have on me finding new friends.
And me being a bitter one.
Okay. They don't know you, though, so how can I give you that advice?
Just based on what I told them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. You guys have a great day.